It's been an intense last couple weeks for the Pittsburgh Penguins, who have gone between 7th and 10th in the conference standings as they try to make the playoffs, doing everything they can to make the playoffs. And finally, they have a chance to clinch a spot here against the Ottawa Senators on the road, a team that we haven't played that much despite the fact that they're in our conference. However, if we win this game, we make the playoffs. 79 games played for us and the 9th place Rangers. They have 4 points less than us. So, if we win, because we're ahead of them on tiebreaker, we will clinch a playoff spot. But we have to get a win. If we lose, there will be 2 games left to play, and we'll have at least a 3-point lead, maybe even a 6-point lead. So if we lose and the Rangers lose, we actually still clinch a playoff spot. Evgeny Malkin's going to get us the first goal of the game with 17:09 left in the second period. A big goal for us right there. That's going to give us the lead, and we are well on our way, guys, to clinching a playoff spot. We need this win, though, because I tell you, it's been a crazy last couple weeks, and Penguins just trying to finish out their regular season on a good note here. Just trying to clinch it so we can get a date with the Canadiens or the Washington Capitals, or maybe even Philadelphia if we can pass Toronto in the standings. It's going to be David Perron in the third period. He's going to score, give us a 2-0 lead. So it is looking, guys, like we're going to actually clinch a playoff spot. It's hard to believe. Again, I feel like I should have put more highlights in this video, but I didn't. But oh well, there's not really much else to show. Marc-Andre Fleury has been incredible recently, guys, making a bunch of saves. He's thrown another shutout, which he has barely done all year, and he has came on fire when he's needed to. 7:43 left. Just got to defend this lead. 56 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. Ottawa's going to be on their way. They pull their goalie. Adam Clendenning moves in with a pulled goalie. He's going to shoot and score. And that is going to be it, guys. The Penguins have all but clinched this game. And after a ton of crazy games in the final few weeks, we are finally going to clinch a playoff spot. And that goal all but seals the deal. Your Pittsburgh Penguins have made the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. I know it was hyped up from the last video, so I'm sure you're expecting some close games, but it's good to win in a dominant fashion for once. 8 seconds left. Bo Bennett is going to have it. He's going to move it up. This game's pretty much over, but Bennett is going to take a shot. It's not going to go in. It doesn't matter. We win. We're in the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to play against Washington or Montreal in the first round. A huge win for the Penguins. A huge last couple wins. That win against Buffalo back in episode, what was it, 22? Was 23? I don't know. Was by far the biggest game that I've ever played on an NHL video game. Take a look. Look at that X. We've made the playoffs, guys. Rangers have fallen to 10th. Buffalo and Boston have 2 games left. And Boston only has 1 point less now. So it's very possible that Boston will make the playoffs. And Buffalo won't. But I really don't care. We won't have to play either of them in like any of the first few rounds. Excuse me. So playing against the Capitals on the road, I still do want to win because I would like the number 7th seed over the 8th. You take a look at the team standings. That's for the whole league. Washington's 3rd. And if they win this game, they'd pass Montreal. So by beating Washington, I'm actually hoping my chances of playing Washington if I'm the number 7th seed. So I could kind of control my own destiny a little bit. 14:55 in the first. It's going to be Ben Lovejoy moving it up down the right side. He's going to skate around the right side. He's going to get a pass over to Malkin. He scores. Evgeny Malkin gets the goal. Penguins lead 1-0. A big goal right there. I am taking this game seriously because it is possible that I may play Washington in the first round of the playoffs. So, you know, if I win this game, that could be a big confidence booster if we have to play them in the first round. If not, we'll have to play Montreal. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get a win here. 9 minutes left in the second. Penguins going to win a faceoff. Mata de Perron, he scores. Great shot by David Perron. That's a great play off the faceoff. We've had that play used against us a couple times, but David Perron gets the goal. Penguins lead 2-0 now. And once again, Marc-Andre Fleury playing impressive, making a bunch of saves, finally showing up. The whole team finally showing up. David Perron, as you can see right there, with a beautiful goal. And the Penguins now lead 2-0 against the Washington Capitals. So, good job for us right there. Now we flash forward to the third. We have a 5-on-3. Sidney Crosby with the puck. What's he going to do? He's going to take it himself, and he scores. He didn't pass it to anyone. He didn't need to. Malkin with a great screen right there. Penguins lead 3-0. We are going to win this game, ladies and gentlemen. A big win for us right there. That's going to be obviously a power play goal assisted by Daniel Sedin and Olli Mata with the primary assist. Take another look. Malkin with a great screen, and there's nothing the goaltender could have done right there. He saw it way too late. Crosby gets the goal. That's going to be it for this game, guys. We are going to beat the Capitals, and to even put some icing on the cake, Marc-Andre Fleury is going to get himself a shutout, and to try to put more icing on the cake, we're going to score another goal. It's now 4-0 with 44 seconds left, so a big win over the Capitals, guys, and that is a big confidence booster because we will probably now play them in the first round of the playoffs. Since they lost this game, they're going to be pretty far behind Montreal. We're probably going to get the 7th seed, so it does look like this is who we will be playing in the first round. I don't think we can beat them. I really don't. I think they're better than us, but the fact that we won this game, it does give some hope as we head to the playoffs. Now just 2 games left, playing against the Philadelphia Flyers. Actually, no, this is our last game of the season, guys. This is our last game of the season. At this point, we had already clinched the 7th seed, and Washington had already clinched the 2nd seed. So it is now a fact we will be playing the Washington Capitals in the playoffs. So this game does not matter at all. It means nothing. However, you do want to win because it is a good way to end your season off with a win. As you head to the playoffs, you do want to get your team the morale coming into the playoffs to, you know, finish on a good note compared to finishing on a bad note. And especially in a rivalry game, you always want to beat your arch nemesis, which for us is obviously the Philadelphia Flyers. That's our biggest rival, so it kind of stinks to have to end the season on the road, but that's what happens. Now in the first 19 seconds left, a big steal by the Flyers. They're going to try to get the puck, but we're going to end up with it. Here comes Chris Kunitz with it. 5 seconds left. He's going to take a slap shot. He scores! Chris Kunitz with a massive slap shot right there. He's had a few goals recently. He's played fairly well. And the Penguins tie the game at 1. So we will head to the locker room tied 1-1 here against the Flyers. And again, this game technically does not matter, but it's Penguins-Flyers. You always want to win that game. There's no doubt about it right there. Look at that slap shot. What a shot over the pad side of the goaltender. Now we flash forward to the 2nd period. Penguins going to try to pass it behind the net. Flyers are, though, going to get the puck to the slot. I don't think Marc-Andre Fleury should have let that one in, but he did. It's now 2-1. We're down. Only down by 1, and the game is at its halfway point, though, so far from being out of this game right there. That's going to be scored by Michael Raffl, assisted by Shen. Let's take another look at this one. They're just going to get a quick pass to the slot. And, yeah, Fleury should have poked that one out of the way or made that save. But we know how he has a tendency to be inconsistent. Now we flash forward further on, 15 minutes left. This is like 30 seconds later, literally. This is right off the face-off. Pascal Dupuis is going to tie the game 2-2. Oh, look at the Penguin with the Stanley Cup on his head. We are going to take away the Flyers Stanley Cup this year. I hope we play them in the playoffs, and I hope we beat them. That's how much I hate the Flyers, but that's actually going to be assisted by Fleury, who gets an assist. That's kind of funny, but tied at 2 now, 14 minutes left. This is literally just another minute later, and the Flyers are going to get themselves a goal. So all of a sudden, this game is goal after goal after goal. It has been absolutely insane, guys. But the Flyers now do have the lead. That's Scott Loughton with the goal, going to be assisted by McDonald. Taking another look, they're behind the net, and they pass straight to the slot, and a one-timer goes in for the goal. So now 8 minutes left in the second. Flyers with another opportunity here. They fail on the pass, but they're going to have another opportunity. Penguins trying to do their best defense. They're going to have a one-timer. It's off of Olli Mata. Now they're going to have more opportunities to the slot. They score. Bad defense by the Penguins, not covering the slot again, but they did put a lot of pressure on. That made it tough. It's now 4-2, so down by 2. Flash forward now, 25 seconds left in the second. Flyers going to have a pass to the front, and they score. It is 5-2. So at this point, this game's pretty much over. I wanted to make a comeback, but at this point, I'm like, you know what? Just screw it. It's over. We're not going to win this game. 9 seconds left in the second. Daniel Sedin's actually going to bring the puck up, see what he can do. He passes it behind to Kessel. Kessel in front of Crosby. He scores. So Crosby gets the goal. Another goal for Crosby. He's been really good. He is actually going to, that's going to be like his 25th goal of the season or something like that. Either way, he gets the goal. And we still are in this game. It's 5-3. We head to the third, so maybe trying to make one more comeback before the playoffs start. See what we can do, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to flash forward here to the third period. We are going to actually flash forward midway through. 11 minutes left. The Flyers are going to get themselves a goal. It's now 6-3. So at this point, we're going to need 3 goals in 11 minutes and 22 seconds. Are probably not going to score 3 more. That's going to be Jacob Voracek. You saw the signs. Assisted by Jaromir Jagr, who played for the Penguins in 1990 and 1991. That is a long time ago. Man, he's been in the league for a long time. That's going to be it for this game, though, guys. They got a breakaway at the end, but they don't end up scoring. We lose at 6-3. What else can you do, though? At least the game didn't matter. I mean, it's a loss of confidence, but the game didn't matter. That's it for the season, guys. That is it for the season. Hard to believe. We have finally finished it. There's still 6 minutes left in this video. I'm not doing the playoffs in this video. That'll be in the next episode. I do, however, want to show some final statistics for the season for us. Starting with the most points. Daniel Sedin is first. Sidney Crosby second with 49. Patrick Hornquist, 31 goals. He is the team leader in goals. What a great season for him. Crosby really heated up as the season went on. Most of Sedin's points were in Vancouver, but he ended up with 25 goals. Phil Kessel, fourth, 21 goals, 19 assists, 40 points for him. Evgeny Malkin, 22 goals, 17 assists, 39. David Perron was actually really good for us this year. 15 goals, 18 assists, 33. Brandon Sutter, 16 and 16 for 32. Ian Cole was the top defenseman, 3 goals, 28 assists, 31. You got Clendenning with 28. Chris Kunitz, 13 goals, 12 assists, 25. Not too bad for a third-line center. And then Ollie Mata and Chris Letang with 24 points each. So that's pretty much how our team ended up. Don't forget, Daniel Sedin actually played 84 games this year because he was traded. So he ended up playing actually more. So if you factor that in, Crosby was pretty much the point leader for the Penguins. Not a huge year for Crosby, though. The assists were kind of low, but that's part of my playing style. And that's also, remember, at the beginning of the season, we played really bad for the first couple months and barely had any offense. So more accurate, I feel like he'd be in the 70s. But, he has played a lot better recently. Hornquist obviously was huge. He had that great wrist shot this entire year, scored so many goals, and I'm so glad to have Hornquist. He is, he was by far the best player for us in terms of scoring goals this year. Crosby, though, probably our all-around best player. He is our franchise player, obviously, 96 overall, but that's pretty much how we ended the season statistically. Obviously, the rest of the players were all farther down in number of points scored and stuff like that, so I didn't bother to scroll through it all, but I did want to show you guys those statistics just to show you really how it ended up and how the final season stats were as we head to the playoffs here. But now we're going to look at the final standings. Metropolitan Division was won by the Capitals. Flyers were second, 4 points behind. Columbus was third. We were fourth. Rangers ended up fifth. Islanders, Carolina, and New Jersey were at the bottom. Entire league standings, Chicago, Montreal, Washington. You can see how the top were. You can slow it down and pause the video if you want to take a look at how that finished out. St. Louis Blues were the worst team. The Sharks were second. Then the Devils, Hurricanes, and Panthers. 2 of those teams were actually from our division. And we're actually going back up now. We ended up 14th in the league. 2 points behind Vancouver. 3 above Buffalo. Edmonton was the worst team to make the playoffs. They had only 90 points. Buffalo was obviously the worst in our conference. But, considering the fact where we were early on in the season, I think we still ended up fairly good. I honestly think we would have been like 6th or 7th in the entire league had I been accustomed to the all-star difficulty level. But since it went up and since we had a terrible first few months, I really think this season we played pretty well, to be honest. As you can see, though, we are going to play the Washington Capitals in the first game of the playoffs. We're going to hold a team meeting. Tonight is game 1 of the series, and let's see, what did we end up saying? Whether it's this game or game 7, I need the best out of you every night. And a bunch of morale gain and a bunch of morale lost. I think that was a good words of encouragement from the coach. I don't know how you can lose morale from that, but whatever, guys. I want to take a look at the playoff bracket before we finish out this video. Finally, I get to look at the playoff tree and stuff since we're actually in the playoffs, which is pretty exciting. It's going to be Philly versus Columbus, Washington versus Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay versus Toronto, and Montreal versus Buffalo in the East. The West is Winnipeg versus Minnesota, Chicago versus Edmonton, Anaheim versus Vancouver, and LA versus Dallas. Make your predictions in the comments. Who do you think is going to win the Stanley Cup? My prediction is going to be Montreal over Chicago. No, check that. Chicago over Montreal is going to be my honest prediction. Make your prediction in the comments. See if you can guess it right. And also, write in the comments, how far do you think I'm going to get in the playoffs? Will I make it out of the first round? I don't know. Let me know what you think is going to happen. See if you guys can guess it right. And if you want to make a full detailed prediction, do what you can do. Have some fun with this, right? I want to get you guys involved in one way or the other. But that's our playoff bracket. We got to play the Capitals. I personally don't think I can win this series, but we did beat them 4-0. So you never know. You never know what's going to happen. That's the game of hockey. There are upsets, so it is possible. And if we win, we play either Philly or Columbus, and I know we can beat either one of those teams. So I feel like if we beat Washington, we'd go to the conference finals. But if we don't beat Washington, obviously we would get out. So we'll see what happens. But I want to thank everyone for watching. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe as you follow the Penguins on their quest to the Stanley Cup. For now, we'll see you next time. I'm Mr. Affleck, 9916. Peace. Let's win the cup.